Hi there everyone, my name is Anna and welcome to Tintana. So in my channel, I do fountain pen reviews. I also do some ink reviews, anything related to writing and journaling. So today's topic, I decided to talk about how to write with a fountain pen. And there are people who have expressed some interest, writing with a fountain pen, but they don't know how. Some of them are afraid to try it out because they don't know anything about pen maintenance. And, people are afraid because they think that they might break it because fountain pens can be expensive, okay? But not all fountain pens are expensive. Some, beginner level fountain pen is pretty cheap, and you can get them for, as low as, a couple of dollars, maybe about $5. You can already pick up, a Chinese brand, fountain pen. So I am going to save talking about, the filling mechanism, the nib points, the build quality of the fountain pen, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna delve so much on that. My purpose for my video is just to show you how to properly hold the pen and how to position your hand, position your finger, so you can write easily, and you can write extensively using a fountain pen without tiring your hand. So first of all, let's take a look at some of the differences between just a regular ballpoint pen and a fountain pen. So one important thing that you need to realize about this is the kind of ink that is used in this pen. So this is just your regular ballpoint pen, and this one is particularly a gel pen. And then the ink for fountain pens, of course, fountain pen inks come in many different varieties as well. So you have like fast drying inks, you have those that are shining, those that are shimmery, those that are permanent. But just for the purpose of today's video, most fountain pen inks come in like a watery consistency. It's not like the gel ink. The gel ink is more thick, but the fountain pen ink is more fluid. So the consistency of the ink is more like water, and it is designed to flow nicely, in your feed. Okay, so the pen that I'm using here for my demonstration is a Pilot Falcon soft fine nib. I like writing with a soft fine nib. I like writing with a fine nib because I tend to write small. So the kind of pen that you will pick up if ever you wanted to get your first fountain pen, it depends on like what writing do you normally do. Do you tend to write big? Do you tend to write small? How is your hand? What is your hand size? Is your hand small? Is your hand large? You have to pick a fountain pen that is comfortable for you to hold. So it's the one that is not too weighty, that it tires your hand easily. The one that could be sturdy and could last you maybe a while. Okay, so just a quick demonstration of the differences between the fountain pen and the ballpoint pen when it comes to the ink quality. So this is just a regular not a regular, I would just say normal fountain pen. It's not, I'm not finding the right words, but this is a fountain pen. So as mentioned, the ink is more watery, the ink is more fluid in consistency. It's designed to flow continuously here on the feed. So it requires very, very little pressure to get the ink flowing if you have, a good functioning fountain pen. So to demonstrate that, so I have here a piece of paper. It's not anything fancy. And I am going to just let the tip of the nib, touch the paper. And I'm not really doing anything in here. I'm not applying any pressure on the pen. I'm just letting it glide on the paper. So as you can see, it does not take long to get it writing. As soon as the nib touches the paper, it gets the ink flowing. All right, so that's one thing you need to remember about writing with a fountain pen. It does not require that much pressure when you write with it. Now let's take a look at the ballpoint pen. So this is a regular gel pen, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to let the tip of this pen touch the paper, and I'm not gonna put any pressure on it. So as you can see, you cannot see it writing, right? Maybe if I pressed a little bit, then I get something, it gets the ink flowing. But for you to write with a ballpoint pen, it requires some kind of like steady pressure to get it to write, because the tip of the pen is ballpoint. So that ballpoint would have to roll Okay, and in order for that to roll, you have to apply maybe just a little bit of pressure, on the tip. Okay, so let's do it again. I'm not doing anything with this pen. I'm just letting it touch the paper, but I don't really see the ink flowing. I have to press just a little bit, to get that ball rolling, so I can have, the ink flow, in this pen. So that's one thing that I would say that is different, between these two pens. And that difference plays a very important role in the way you hold the pen and in the way you write. So without further ado, let's just get to it. How do you properly hold, the fountain pen with your hand? So some people, when did we all get to learn how to write? Very early in life, right? Very early in life. So the way you grip your pen, I mean, it's out of habit. It's very difficult to unlearn. It's because it's deeply, ingrained in your brain, like that, the eye-hand coordination, like how you hold the pen with your hand. So it takes a little bit of time to kind of unlearn some of the things that you have learned when you write with a ballpoint pen. But like I said, you have to write with a little bit more pressure. So let's do a writing sample here. The quick brown fox. Okay. Okay. So that is how I write with a normal ballpoint pen. Now, let's try it using a fountain pen. So writing with a fountain pen, if you want to write with it extensively, you would have to learn how to hold it properly, because the ink gets flowing as soon as it touches the paper. You do not need to grip it like too tightly. You don't need to grip it too tightly. What you need to do is take your index finger and your thumb, and then your middle finger. Just allow the pen to rest gently, okay, on your middle finger, but you are going to grip the pen, okay, with your index finger and with your thumb. Okay, so something like this. Now this is called like a tripod grip. And like I said, when you hold the pen, you don't need to like grab it too tightly. You have to hold it lightly, gently, resting the pen, okay, on your hand. So like this. Okay, another thing that you need to know is just make sure, let me zoom this out. Make sure that when you write, make sure that you are in a comfortable position, that your feet is flat on the floor, you have the proper I would say posture, and stuff like that. So what you need to do is to allow like this part of your palm, like the side of your palm, to gently rest on the table. You're not like putting your whole weight, okay, on it. You are gently like resting it, on the table. Okay, you're not putting your whole weight, on your palm. No. Okay, and then as you hold the pen with your hand, you are going to make sure that you involve your arm muscles, so you don't just write with your wrist. Now when I was younger, I tend to write with my wrist a lot, but when you are writing with your wrist, it kind of like limits your range of motion. Okay, it limits your range of motion, whereas when you are writing with your arm, you are using larger muscles in your arm, and that allows you to move your hand as you write. So that will play a significant role if you don't want to tire your hand that quickly if you write extensively. All right, so let's do a little bit of writing here. Writing sample here. By the way, the ink that I'm using here is from Pilot, Iroshizuku, and the one that I have on my ink is the Yamabudo. I like the Yamabudo ink. Okay, so let's do a writing sample here, and you would see like how I do it with my hand. So maybe I'm not going to do like the normal a quick brown fox, but maybe I will write like a lyrics to a song. I don't know, so we'll see. Okay. Okay. Alright, so let's zoom out. Alright, so I don't know if you've noticed that, but the way I write with a fountain pen is I am not pressing too hard, you know, on the paper. I'm not like doing like so much pressure on the paper, but I'm kind of like lightly holding the pen with my index finger and with my thumb, and then gently using my middle finger to rest the pen, okay, on that, okay? But it's not, I'm not, it's more of like, it's something like when you do like a scribble, when you're like testing like a pen for the first time and you do like a little bit of scribble. That's kind of like how you write with a fountain pen, okay? You're like doing it very lightly like that, like this. Yep. So as you can see, there is more movement in your hand. You're not stuck to like doing the wrist movement, but also, you know, moving your arm as you write. Okay, so I hope that you find this video useful. You may have to adjust your grip, because sometimes I tend to adjust my grip as well. So sometimes when I find myself like I am holding too tightly on the fountain pen, I would have to, you know, be mindful of that and adjust the way I hold it. And sometimes you may have to experiment on, you know, what works for you comfortably. Again, writing is a skill, and there are some things that you will need to learn and some things that you would need to, you know, unlearn, and then find the one, you know, that is comfortable for you. So sometimes I tend to write like a pinching motion like this. It's like I'm pinching this you know, this pen and just gently supporting it with my middle finger underneath. Okay, sometimes I do this as well. So if I do this kind of grip, you know, I'm not like doing that, I'm just holding it like this. Sometimes it helps me because you are going to just allow, you know, the pen to glide on the paper. All right. Okay. So again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. And I'll see you again next time. Have a good day. Bye.